Hello, YouTube. I made two videos yesterday. I had to split them up because one was too long, so I'm sorry about that. And I'm going to try to make a shorter one today. I'm also going to try not to sound so stupid as I did yesterday. My pill alarm is going off. What just happened was a part of living with epilepsy. My alarm went off to tell me to take some medication. So I had to go do that. And that is one of the parts of living with epilepsy. I will have to take medication for the rest of my life. Right now, my seizures are intractable. They have been intractable for 25 years. And that means my seizures are not controlled by medication. I also have adjunct therapy, which is a vagus nerve stimulator implant. It looks kind of like a pocket watch, and it has a lead wire. The generator is right here. The pocket watch is right here, implanted right under the skin, and the lead wire runs from there. They've got it looped up so it goes to my left vagus nerve and wraps around it a couple of times. The left vagus nerve runs from the major organs up to the brain. And the people that developed the vagus nerve stimulator thought that when the signals from these organs go up the nerve to the brain, that the electricity from the generator can hitch a ride and break up the brain waves. You are supposed to have irregular brain waves, and when they become too regular, my neurologist told me when they become regular, that's when you have a seizure. Starts trying to put the neurons and axons and everything back where they go so the seizure will stop. Another part of living with epilepsy is the tendency to fall and injure yourself, which I have done many times. So I bought this helmet, and unfortunately I didn't have it when I had my major injuries, but I have it now, and it's not too late. I have fallen and my head has not gotten injured, but some injuries I've had before, cuts above the eye when you hit your head on a corner of a table or something. Once I slipped on a rock at a brook and fell backwards and cut my head open a little bit. And once I messed up my ankle. The long bones separated from the first bone of the ankle, and so I had to have a pin put in. I had 3 surgeries for that, and now I can walk just fine. Part of living with epilepsy, especially for children, and depending on what type of seizures they have, being very misunderstood by their peers. And that happened to me a lot, all the way up to high school. And then my peers, I don't know, it just didn't matter. Well, we were more mature, so it didn't matter so much to them, and I was treated with a lot more respect. One very annoying thing to me about living with uncontrollable seizures is I cannot take a bath. I can only take a shower, and right now I can only take one when there's someone at home. And you can probably work it out why. So that's really inconvenient, especially if I have to go out or I want to go out. I like to be clean. And another part is not driving. But since I haven't driven for 25 years, it's not a big deal. It just takes 3 times as long to get somewhere as it does if I were driving. And I have to work that into my schedule. Fortunately, right now, I have a lady that will take me to doctor's appointments and to the grocery, so I'm very blessed to have her be able to do that. Another thing is, when I was in college, I went back to college kind of as a midlife change, and I had to have some accommodations there, which I had never had before, ever. And they were not major. I never turned in any papers late or missed any tests. But if I had had seizures the night before, I had to call in sick. I did quit one job after 2.5 years of working there because I was having multiple seizures every day at work, and I felt that I was a danger to myself there and to everyone else in there. It was the public library, and I worked in the children's room and in the adult room, and I did not want to pull a bookshelf over and have all the books fall off, because I was grabbing the shelf so I wouldn't fall. And I did not want the children to see me if I were on the ground having a seizure. So, and in the adult room, I was like putting art books back on the shelf, and they were on the top shelf, so I had to climb. Bad idea. It was just really unthinkable to keep working there knowing that I could pull all those art books on top of a fellow worker or a patron of the library. I have never been turned down for employment because of my epilepsy. Thank you. And I think that's all I'm going to do right now.